Hello, in this video we're going to look at the bug collector programming problem from your textbook, and we're going to write a solution to the problem. So let's take a look at it. A bug collector collects bugs every day for 7 days. Write a program that keeps a running total of the number of bugs collected during the 7 days. The loop should ask for the number of bugs collected for each day, and when the loop is finished, the program should display the total number of bugs collected. Now, to write this program, it's very important that you understand the process of keeping a running total. This is a topic that is covered in your textbook, but let's briefly review what that means. Now, when we talk about keeping a running total, we're simply talking about a loop that gets a series of numbers. In this case, the numbers are going to be coming from the keyboard. Okay, so the loop gets a series of numbers and it simply calculates the total of all those numbers. Now, the way that you keep a running total is that you create a variable which is known as the accumulator, and the accumulator is simply the variable that you're going to use to keep the total of the numbers. You're going to accumulate all of the numbers as they come into the program. That's why it's called an accumulator. So first you have to initialize the accumulator at the value 0. That's very important, because if you don't do that, the total at the end of the loop, it won't be accurate. So you initialize the accumulator at 0, and then the loop, during each iteration, it will get the next number in the series, and it will add it to the accumulator. So the loop just gets a number, adds it to the accumulator, gets a number, adds it to the accumulator, and it does this as many times as necessary. Now, before we start writing Python code, let's see if we can put our thoughts together in the form of pseudocode. So the first thing that we're going to do is set our accumulator to 0, and I'm going to call the accumulator total. So we're going to set total to 0, and then we're going to have a loop that works like this for each of 7 days, and that's just my way of saying that the loop is going to iterate 7 times. For each of 7 days, we're going to input the number of bugs collected for a day, and then we're going to add bugs collected to total. So that's the major responsibility of the loop. It just gets the number of bugs collected for a specific day, and then it adds that to the accumulator. When the loop is finished, then the accumulator will contain the total, so we simply display the total. So it's a pretty simple program, actually, and this pseudocode really summarizes everything that it's going to do. Okay, now let's switch over to our Python editor. So we know that the first thing we have to do is initialize the accumulator. So I'm going to go ahead and write a comment indicating that that's what we're doing. And we're going to name the accumulator total, just assign 0 to it. And now we can actually write the loop, and I'll write a comment for that as well. Get the bugs collected for each day. Now, the loop is going to be, in this case, I think the best choice is a for loop. And we're going to create a variable named day. And what I'm thinking here is that the program is going to prompt the user with something like this. It will say, enter the bugs collected on day 1, enter the bugs collected on day 2, and so forth. So the loop is going to actually tell the user the number of the day, days 1 through 7. And that's what this variable is going to be used for. So it's going to say for day n, and then we're going to call the range function. Now, we want the days to be days 1 through 7, so we're going to specify a starting value of 1 and an upper limit of 8. Remember that in the range function, the upper limit is the value that the range will go up to, but not including. Okay, so for day in range 1, 8, and then we're going to print the prompt on the screen, and I'm actually going to use the print function to print the prompt. You know, normally in most of the examples you've seen in the textbook, we use the input function to display the prompt and to read the input. But in situations where you need to do things like string concatenation and whatnot in your prompt, sometimes it's easier just to use the print function. So let me go ahead and write this code, and then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to tell the user, enter the bugs collected on a day, and then we're going to actually print the number of the day. Okay, and then we're going to let the user enter the number of bugs. So let's have a variable named bugs, and the number is going to be an integer. And there's the statement that gets the input. So the print function will display this message, enter the bugs collected on day 1 or day 2 or whatever iteration is happening. And then the input statement will simply read the number from the keyboard. And next in the loop, we are going to add this number of bugs to the accumulator. Total equal total plus bugs. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it, if you prefer, you could say total plus equal bugs. Either one of those statements will work. They both do the same thing. And that's the end of the loop. So the next thing that we will do is display the total bugs. Okay, so this is, I think, a pretty good first draft of the program. Let's go ahead and run this. Hopefully there are no errors. And of course we'll save the program. Okay, well, this is a good sign. The program actually starts running. Enter the bugs collected on day 1. Okay, well, I'm going to enter some values that will make it easy for us to debug. I'm just going to enter the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we collected 1 bug on day 1. On day 2, we collected 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And it tells us that we collected a total of 28 bugs. And if we go through and add up these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we in fact will get a total of 28. So the arithmetic seems to be working. If we are happy with the output that the program is giving us, then the only thing left to do is to go in here and add a few more comments. I would suggest a comment here indicating that we are going to prompt the user, and then a comment here, input the number of bugs, and then here we could insert a comment, add bugs to total.